What's going on, guys? We're back with a brand new video, and today we're going over one of the most important positions, or probably the most important position in the AFL, which is the midfielders. They get the most recognition in the AFL, which is why you can see that most, or like 99% of Brownlow medal winners come from the midfield. These are the stars of the competition. These are the people that win all the awards, which I actually feel bad for, because there's an award for forwards, but there's no award for defenders. So we need to bring in some type of award for defenders. So we'll stop about that. Now let's go straight into the video. And number 5, I've gone with Marcus Bontempelli. You're probably wondering that he's kind of a bit low, judging about how people actually view Marcus Bontempelli. But I put him at 5 entering the 2021 season just because that he has so many other midfielders. Like, the Dogs run about 155 midfielders running through their midfield at one time. I think last year there was a stat in the elimination final that they had 14 midfielders listed going into that game against the Saints, which is absolutely ridiculous. And that's why I think could hold up back the Dogs this year, is because of how many midfielders they do have. And they need some other help around the ground, which is why I was a bit hesitant about why people were so excited about Adam Treloar coming to the club. But either way, Marcus Bontempelli is an absolute star, and people had him, he was like the most predicted guy for the Brownlow medal going into 2020, and he could actually win it this year, but with so many midfielders, I highly doubt he will win a Brownlow medal in the next couple of years when they do have all these midfielders, until some of them start to go, which will happen. As you can see, that Josh Dunkley almost left this year, so yeah, I've him number 5. And number 4, I've gone for Patrick Cripps. Now, this man at the start of the year probably arguably would have been number 1 and no one really near him, but he kind of had a little bit of a bad year. I do not blame that on him. I kind of blame that on how they managed him, how the Carlton Football Club actually managed Patrick Cripps. Anyone that actually watched any Carlton games last year would have seen that this man was playing injured. And it's pretty easy to see that he had a really great start to the season. Almost people were still like, yeah, Brownlow medal contender. He almost won in 2019. If it wasn't for Carlton not winning enough games, he probably would have won it for the past 2 years. That's just how good this man was. But he was not great in 2020. But I do not blame that on him. He had a horrific shoulder, I think, injury. Yeah, so that's why I have him number 4, but I expect him to come back fully healthy after having a full fit pre-season and returning back to the Brownlow medal conversation. Next up, I've gone with Patrick Dangerfield. Now, this man was probably the best player for the grand finalist team, which was Geelong. He pretty much kind of changed his role, and I almost didn't put him in here because of how much he played forward, but he still pushes midfield. He probably has about a 60-40 split, kind of like a Dustin Martin does, which is very good because he's a very capable goal scorer. Even though he kind of sometimes is a bit iffy with his accuracy on goals, he's not that great of a set shot, but his marking ability puts him in, so he gets so many opportunities at getting a shot on goal. And if you keep getting shots on goal, eventually you're going to start scoring them. And everyone knows about that 4-goal game that he had on Collingwood when they blew him out by about 70 points or something in the semi-final, which set him up for a great victory over the Brisbane Lions. So I expect this man to be one of the most impactful players, because everyone already has Geelong as finishing first on the ladder, as these are the predictions that I've seen, and being a grand final contender and probably the favourite for the grand final, only next to Richmond. Now at number 2, I've gone with Lachie Neale. He is the reigning Brownlow medalist and almost won it in 2019 to go along with his 2020 Brownlow medal. And this man is probably hands down the best regular season midfielder in the competition. The only thing that really holds him back from being number 1 is how he performs in the finals. He performed pretty good, but not at a level where he excels his level of play from the regular season to the finals. To be an elite midfielder, you need to be able to up yourself to another level of player. And even though he did play very good in that first win against Richmond. Everyone remembers that classic 55-meter goal, which no one thought Lachie Neale even had it in his bag, but he managed to pull it off, and that shocked a lot of people. but he did not perform too well against Geelong in that preliminary final. I think he didn't have a touch in the first quarter, which I remember seeing, and I'm like, this is not Lachie Neale, and this is not what Lachie Neale should be doing, especially in a finals game. And as everyone saw, that kind of did hold back Brisbane from making it to a grand final, and probably took him away from a flag because it was a home ground advantage for them in the Gabba. So that's why I have him at number 2. And at number 1, I've gone with Dustin Martin. This man is probably the best player in the AFL currently, and people even have him as one of the best players ever. I don't have him quite there yet. We'll have to see how he finishes off his career. But no one can understand. Like, this man has just gone for full-on, almost like an NBA standard of elevating his play when he goes into the finals. He's not the best regular season midfielder. Like, he plays good in the regular season, but nothing up there. That's why I think he didn't even finish in the top 10 for the Brownlow medal. And when you see that, and you see me put him number 1, but you cannot. His value to his team in the finals is no one can stop Dustin Martin in the finals. He goes into the middle, he gets the clearance, and the next minute you see him the kick inside 50, then he's one out in the square marking it, and he kicks 4 goals like he did in the grand final. No one, that last goal of that grand final where he shrugged off Dangerfield and intercepted the ball from Reece Stanley, and then kicked that snap. Who saw that coming? That's probably one of the craziest goals in AFL, grand final history. It was absolutely insane. And this man's field kicking, and every time he gets the ball, you know something's going to happen with it. He's just... there's just Dustin Martin. I have nothing else to say about this man. You've already heard enough about Dustin Martin. He's so hyped up in the media, and there's people call him overrated. You can't overrate a man that's won 3 Norm Smith medals and led his team to 3 premierships. And even though he's only ever turned up in probably 1 regular season, which was the 2017 season where he won Brownlow and won every other award, you can tell that he's doing that deliberately, so he rests himself during the season so then he can lead his team to a premiership in the finals. Yeah, so that is my top 5, but like the other top 5 players every position that I've done, I want you guys to comment down below your top 5, because I love reading the comments. I respond to every single comment telling you what I think about your top 5. So if you want that in the comments, just comment down below and I'll give yours a rate out of 10, or if you want me to rate it out of 10, just comment down below, or I could just say, I'll just say something about it if you want me to talk about it with you, because I talk to everyone in the comments and that's what I pride myself on. I never don't read a comment. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like and a subscribe. We're on the road to 300 subscribers, and I want to try to get to 500 subscribers or even 1,000 by the regular season starting. So, and that's probably, I think that's 2 months away, so it'll be a very, very hard thing to do. But if you guys can help me out, that'll be absolutely great.